In the last lecture, we saw how JSX allows us to use HTML and JavaScript side by side. If we use a traditional method in which we had to make an HTML file where all the elements will appear, and then we wanted to manipulate those elements, then we had to make a separate JavaScript file in which we call those elements through ID or class. And then we use the DOM manipulation. But React makes it easy, in the sense that it allows us to make an HTML file, and in that HTML we use JavaScript and manipulate those HTML elements. So that's the basic concept behind it. But now we'll move a little towards practical things, and we'll learn how it works. So here I'll tell you like three concepts. I'll show you like three concepts. You can follow any of them. Before, let me give you an example. So first of all, we'll make a variable and we'll make it like a first variable. That's what we'll call it. And in this variable, we'll store the value expert. And here we are taking another variable and we'll name it second variable. And in this one, we'll store the value developer. So these are our two variables. Let's now see how to use them in our HTML. So there are three ways, and you can use it as it suits you. So here we're taking an H1 element. Let me tell you that they are basically React fragment. So I'm just telling you that this is basically like they are basically a React fragment. So for example, if you want to use more than one div or elements, then you have to put it in fragment, like in a fragment manner. So it compiles and renders whatever is in the fragment. So let me show you like how the manipulation in one element works. So this is an H1 element. Now if I write if I want to show the value expert of the first variable, then this is how to do it. If I write directly here, then it will not work. So let me show you. I wrote first variable directly and saved it. Now you can see that it's been displayed as it's here. I wanted to display the value expert. So how can I do that? We can do that through expressions, curly bracket. You will put the curly braces and we'll put the name of the variable and save it. These expressions allow us to use JavaScript. So now I gave the variable in the expression and saved it. Now we're moving to the browser and we can see the changes. So as you can see, it's displayed the value of our variable, not the variable itself. So this is the best thing you can use to access the variable's value in an H1 tag. You don't have to make another JavaScript file to access the variable's value. Okay, so besides that, I'm displaying this value as well. So I gave a space and put a second variable, and then I save it. Now we'll go to the browser, and as you can see, both values have been shown here. So that was the first method. Now we'll see the second method. So I'll write we want to write both variables in one expression. So how do we achieve that? We take the first variable. If you're writing in the same expression, then you will have to concatenate. So it will give me an error if I don't concatenate it. So for concatenation, you just need to put the plus, and then you can give your second variable. Okay, so now we'll save it, and we'll see what are the changes that are happening. So we got the values of both variables, but there's no space between them. We want the space here, so it's not a big issue. We'll put commas after the plus and put space between them, and we'll concatenate it again. We save it, and now as you can see, the changes have occurred. The space has appeared. But as you can see, we had to write a space. So for example, if you have a paragraph with spaces, then you have to give spaces again and again. It will take enough time. So we have another concept, which is the template literals. So now we'll use it. There's a button in your keyboard, like back tick. You have to press on that. I'm removing this and then I'm pressing the back tick button. So as you can see, it's appeared. So there is a simpler way to what I'm doing. So you can take the expression and then take the back tick. So now here I'm writing we are. Next, I want to get the value of the first variable. So if you want to show the value of the variable in the back tick, then to do that, you have to use the $sign. Without it, you can't show it. You can't show that. So now we'll write first variable and we'll write the second variable with it. Now, as you can see, I've written everything in a single expression. Okay, we can save it and we'll go to the browser to see it. And as you can see, we are expert developers. But the difference is that we used literals in the expression. So when you are using literals to show the value of the variable, then you will have to use the $sign. Without it, like without that, you will get errors. So this was the template literals. And now let's move on to the next lecture.